So welcome to our homestead. I just thought I'd take you on a little walk and show you what we need to do and where we're going to go and how we're going to get there. This is the first decent night that I can actually take you for a walk and have a look. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of underbrush, and that's one of the last things I'm going to do is start brushing out the forests and clearing a little bit more land. We own a nice little piece here, nestled in the hills, right in the hills. We've got a extremely big hill right behind us. The video won't show the extent of it. It's our driveway. We're about 100 meters off the driveway. As you come in, I've already done some land clearing in here, and this is where I put our garden for this year. There's an old shed and dog shed in here that I turned into a chicken coop, which is working out just fine for now. I took this old rotten tree down. The stump is going to come out, and there's our chickens, the 8 of them. ISA browns are what we have. I kind of just use these old flower beds for some greens, some onions, peas, and some spinach, and then I put our garden in, which was a bit of a challenge. I cleared out all the stumps in here. There's one more stump to come out, that's no problem. That old pool's got to come down. It's just a mosquito haven, and the brush piles of course have to be burned and open up the trails back into the hardwood bush and eventually put up a tree stand. So when we got here last August, I guess it was September, this shop was pretty much falling down, so I re-tinned it, restrapped it. There's still quite a bit of work to do to it, but we're getting there. I built a lean-to just to put whatever under. Starting to put some siding on it, fill it in. I added this lean-to, and it's going to be eventually my blacksmith shop. Once I get it filled in, I'll get my anvil out and start doing some things. You could barely walk back in here. The logs are in decent shape, but we brushed it out. I put a couple of little gardens back in here for the kids. They're having fun with it. I cleared a little bit of land around here, and again starting to take the old pool deck down. That'll open things right up. So just gonna go over here and have a look at the kids' garden. I haven't had a look at it for a couple of days. It's just getting warm. The peas and the beans, I guess, and this watermelon are coming up, and there's a little squash patch here. But there was an old fence in here. I think they had some drive horses at one point in time, so I'm going to open that up and get it ready for some lands of some livestock and get everything cleaned up and get it right open into the hardwood and get quite a breeze through here. These trees are going to come down for next year. Septic is right in here somewhere, but I am going to put a potato patch in here so we can separate the potatoes from the rest of the garden, which will give us about 3,000 square feet, and that'll pretty much support our little family. These are just some of the leveling I've done and some of the trees that I've taken down. We're just kind of getting started at it, little bit by little bit. Been trying to save some red pine to build some furniture with. I've built some already, which I'll show you in the future, but I just wanted to give you a little tour of what we had here and what we have to work with, and I'm excited about it. I look forward to the journey, and one day we're hoping that we can be self-sufficient and live quite comfortably right on this little piece of property. That is one of my little compost piles I'm going to use for chicken bedding and household scraps with a little bit of topsoil, and I don't know if I'm going to burn or chip that. We'll figure that out, and I'll use some of that tin for something out of the pool and take the rest back and see what I can do with it. So anyways, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for the tour of our property. I haven't taken you back into the woods at all. We've only walked a couple acres of the 10, and Everybody have a good evening.